when things are going bad, there's going to be some good that's going to come from it. Didn't get the new high-speed gear we wanted? Good. Didn't get promoted? Good. More time to get better. Oh, mission got canceled? Good. We can focus on another one. Didn't get funded. Didn't get the job you wanted. Got injured. Sprained my ankle. Got tapped out? Good. Got beat? Good. You learned.
There's a moment when every boy realizes no one's coming to save him. And that's when he becomes a man. And some boys never get there and stay children forever.
You know, life created this person, me. Life created me to be this fucked up person that I was back in the day. And I had to realize, man, that's okay, man. It's not my fault. Now I gotta go back and fix this shit though. So a lot of this isn't your fault, why you do some things you do, why you feel the way you feel. But no one's coming back to save your ass. You have to go back to where the shit started, wherever that place is for everybody, and have the courage to go back there and start fixing what broke you. So this is how you level up. That's how you level up. Because I know there's so many people that have the ability and just refuse to get off that couch. Refuse to study a few more hours. Refuse to go deeper, to go further. And that's where I gain the advantage. It's so easy to be great nowadays, my friend, because most people are weak.
People who succeed are the ones who get up every single day and do the work, even when they don't feel like it. They don't wait for handouts or second chances. They create opportunities for themselves. If you want to win, you have to stop expecting someone else to clear the path for you and start building your own road. Owning your life also means owning your failures. Failure is not a bad thing, it's feedback. Every time you mess up, every time you fall short, every time you don't hit your target, you're being handed a lesson. If you don't take responsibility for your failures, you'll never learn the lesson.
You are a man. Your losses are yours, your problems are yours, and your weaknesses are yours. No one cares whether you suffer or not. That's just the bitter reality of life, man. In fact, there are actually some people who are happy to see you suffer. Your life is 100% your responsibility. No one is coming to save you. Sorry to say, but it's just the truth you have to accept.
One of the things you can be virtually certain of in life is that you don't get something you don't aim at. And one of the things that's interesting about that is often people will keep their goals fuzzy. Because one of the problems with specifying your goals is you specify your failures. Right? If the goal is really fuzzy, you're not sure when you fail, and then you can fool yourself. You know, really, but you can kind of keep it foggy. But you make your goals sharp and clear, then, well, first of all, then you know what to aim at. And what's interesting is, you know, your brain is set up so that it reorganizes the world around your aims.
Life isn't fair at all. So what are you gonna do about it? I knew that no one was coming back to help me. No one was gonna miracle me to be somebody special. My dad, my mom, all my situations were on me now. And solely on me. So I had to start developing an indestructible mental toolbox.
Whatever you do, you've got to be a little bit gone to it. You're not all there. You've got to be almost insane to your craft. Not a lot of people can understand that. That's why I don't know about nothing else. I do not pay attention to nothing else. There was games of football on yesterday. There was rugby, there was this, there was that.
Because when you've come from the absolute bottom to the absolute top, and you've done it all off of your own back, and hard work and dedication, and never missing a day, the only shortcut to life is to never miss a day. One, because of compounding interest, and two, because sometimes you get lucky. And you'll never miss a lucky day if you try every day. If you don't try every day, you might miss your lucky day. And that's what people don't understand. If you never miss a day and you never don't try and you're always on time, was I late today? No, on time, and you try and improve every aspect of your life, and you're a professional, and you try and make sure that you analyze your decisions, you give yourself feedback, you don't make mistakes, you're not lazy. If you try and you make it to the top, you end up elitist, because you look at the people down below and you're like, well, why didn't you try?
A game with my 9-year-old son, John Leslie, and I beat him 10 straight games in a game called Connect 4. And finally, I said, John Leslie, I'm bored. I don't want to play you anymore. And I got up. I said, I'm ready to go to sleep now. John Leslie said, no, you can't go now, Dad. I said, why? He said, it's not over until I win. That was his attitude. We sat down and we played several other games. And finally, after the 11th game, John Leslie won, and he got up and he yawned. And he said, I'm ready to go to sleep now. And I'm saying to you, what if all of us took that attitude after we face a rejection and a no, or we have a meeting and no one shows up, or somebody say, you can count on me, and they don't come through? What if we have that kind of attitude? The car's repossessed. Nobody believes in you. You've lost again and again and again. The lights are cut off, but you're still looking at your dream, reviewing it every day and say to yourself, it's not over until I win.
My parents were great. You know, growing up, they instilled in me the importance of imagination, of curiosity, and understanding that, okay, if you want to accomplish something, I'm not just going to sit here and say, yes, you can do whatever you want. Mm-hmm. Yes, you can, but you have to also put in the work to get there, right? So they taught me that at a really early age, man. And when you grow up as a kid thinking that the world is your oyster, all things are possible if you put in the work to do it, and we grew up having that fundamental belief.
Yeah. Who was more influential for you, your father or mother?
Both were influential at different points.
Yeah.
Right. My mom was there on a daily basis.
Why I no longer put people on a pedestal? Because we're all fucked up our own way. We all have demons. Some people hide them better than other people.
First big problem is that you have put a lot of people above you. Put no one above you. No one. I put God above me. Besides that, there's no one better than me. You have to become an equal. So this is how I look at it. If you're playing Roger Federer, before you get on the court with Roger Federer, he's the best of all time. But you're also a professional tennis player, man. You're forgetting your own fucking resume. So once you get on the court, let's say it's a grand slam. It's 5 sets. Hopefully, you can go the distance with this guy.
When you get to that point of frustration, of anger, of being pissed off, that is tremendous fucking fuel for you to go out and do the shit that you want to do. Where you've had enough. You're sick and tired of your life. You look at yourself in the mirror and you're fucking disgusted. It's what you do at that point that fucking matters. So many of you guys give up. You need to take everything that everybody said and shove it down their fucking throats. You know why? Because it feels fucking good. And you guys need to stop being pussies and start fucking using all the negative shit. And you need to take it and you need to use it and go out and do the shit you need to do. Quit asking me about your fucking haters. Quit asking me about your family not believing in you. Quit asking me about this and that and all this other bullshit that people fucking say to you, and take it, ball it up, and go fucking use it.
We need to embrace the fact that it's hard, not avoid it. Let other people be casual if they want to, but they will know something about you by the way you come in. Most people aren't walking like this, ladies and gentlemen. Most people are just dragging along. Seeing life, you either in the way or on the way. You don't want to be casual like that. The people who realize that it's you, that you're going to determine this. You're going to determine the outcome of your life. You're going to determine whether or not your life is exciting or whether or not it's boring. You determine that. And those people who know that, they move with a sense of urgency. They move with purpose and direction. They work and they manage their time effectively. You know that whatever you've done, it's only a tip of the iceberg of what's possible for you. And you are excited trying to find out what else I got in here. I like what I'm seeing here. Let me work on this some more. You got to fortify yourself and say, come on with it. I've got to step into it. Take a stand. Anybody, it takes courage to live, ladies and gentlemen.
One of the things you got to understand, my friend, is that you're supposed to fail. You're supposed to fucking fail, because failure is the stepping stone to success. It's not just cliche. Failure is an experience that lends to wisdom that ultimately makes you a stronger version of yourself.
There's not a person on my team in 16 years that has consistently beat me to the ball every play. That ain't got nothing to do with talent. That's just got everything to do with effort.
I think continuing to have the belief in myself and not letting that veer off since I was young, since I've been told from my teachers that I would never amount to nothing. The bullying or the things that you face, the adversity you face, the discrimination, continuing to march on ahead towards your dream and never losing sight now. I think that's definitely for sure the most difficult thing, is keeping your goal and your eyes set on that and not being distracted, not giving up. I think the easiest thing in life is to give up on whatever you're focused on or whatever you're hopeful for. The hardest thing is to continue to keep going, but we have to continue to hold on.
Effort, dedication, work hard, because the talent is not enough anymore. And if you're not dedicated 100%, you're not gonna reach the level that you want. For example, you arrive home, you had a lunch, you do it a quick nap, and you wake up, you play with your kids, and I have to go to the gym at least 30, 40 minutes, but this will make the difference in the end of the day, you understand? If you not do it that work, you miss one. The next day, it's 2 sessions that you lost. And I know in the end of the day, in the end, they're gonna make a huge difference.
Know why you are doing what you are doing, and then get out there every day and win those small, tactical, short-term battles so you can win the strategic, long-term victory that puts you where you want to be. And it's not going to be easy. The fight, the daily fight, is a challenge. You will not always want to do what you need to do. You will not always feel like doing something you need to do. You may not want to fight that battle, but you need to. You need to. You need to know your strategic goals, and you need to know why they are important, and then you need to get up, get out of your damn bed, get off your phone, get out of the soft and addictive comfort zone.
There's a certain level you can't get to when you keep compromising. You can't get to the next level because every time somebody draws something in front of your face, you give up. Don't you know you're more attractive when you can say no, when they know you got values? You think you're just gonna change the game, you're just gonna change the rules. It don't work like that. There's a standard to greatness and there's levels to this.
Stop complaining about the results you didn't get from the work you didn't put in. The only way to become more successful than most people is to be willing to do something most people aren't willing to do.
Getting up at 4 o'clock in the morning every day before anybody else and grounding my thought process is in the no one will outwork me. No one. I love and I respect you guys. Motherfuckers won't outwork me. All starts with this. 2 hands, putting in the work.
This guy can run a 120-mile week, 2,000 pull-ups, 4,000 push-ups, and hundreds of reps at the gym. I hear it all the time. Goggins has a great message, but you don't want to end up like him. His body's all fucked up. You're not afraid of having a fucked up body. You're afraid of the fucking effort. See, what you don't understand is this. We're all being tested, and that road to success is a bumpy-ass fucking road. Has fucking potholes, nails, detours and shit. Yeah, a lot of you are gonna die with a nicely preserved body. No plates, no bad knees, no bruises, no scars.
You don't have to force yourself or motivate yourself to think negatively, to be depressed, to beat yourself up over the head. Your mind is on automatic. It will do that by itself. But if you want to begin to move into your own personal greatness, if you want to begin to really enjoy a happy, successful, healthy life, you've got to be willing to go against the tide. You've got to be willing to harness your will and say, in spite of this, I'm in control here. I'm not going to let this get me down. I'm not going to let this destroy me.
There's human beings that have different temperament and different minds and a ruthless competitive drive that's almost terrifying to the ordinary person. If we were living 1,000 years ago, he would be on a horse with the biggest battle axe, hacking heads off, and everybody would be running.
When I say I am God, you think I'm joking or not? I'm not joking. When I come on the field, I feel like that. I feel like God when I'm on the field. I feel untouchable, and I feel I will smash everyone that comes in my way.
I had to invent a guy that didn't exist. I had to invent a guy that can take any pain, any suffering, any kind of judgment, be called be called whatever the fuck in the world and be able to stand in the fucking room and say, go fuck yourself. I had to build this callous mind, and I built it through suffering. I built it through downright fucking just crushing myself. If it was raining outside at 3 o'clock in the fucking morning, if it was snowing, the first instinct is don't go out there and do shit. My instinct was, we gotta fucking go out there. Anything that was fucking horrible in my life that I would normally say no, that was inhumane to most people, I had to go do it. And I started callousing my mind at this point in my life.
Losing is not an option with me. Not being successful is not an option. When you make not being successful, it's not an option for you, that's when your life is gonna change. Some of y'all are complacent and you cool with not being successful. I'm not cool with that.
Sometimes it's better to be the bad guy. Because when they say they like you, you don't know if they like you. But when they say they hate you, then you know they really hate you.
People are incapable of picking a direction and going. They observe the possibilities, they get paralyzed by all the possibilities, they refuse to move forward on all the possibilities, and then time passes them by. So it's very important that you make a decision and you go down that path, you commit to that path.
Can you survive the temporary? And if you can survive the temporary, it says on the other side of temporary pain, you get introduced to your other self. And so here's what happens for most of us. We think everything's permanent. And because we think it's permanent, we make permanent decisions based on temporary conditions. Even our bodies, other than our souls.
My grassroots background, we don't back down from anyone. And that's what got me in trouble. I don't play games. I don't kiss anyone. And I'm a real man. And that's why, regardless of being a fighter, I'm a man. And that's why I want to be a man. And if I die, I want to die a man. I don't want to die poodle in the street like they treat most fighters. And fighters get abused by these guys and they talk to you guys. And fighters still talk to these guys like nothing happened. Next time somebody abuses me, I'm going to do something very bad to them.
Put yourself in that cage. When I'm in that cage, bro, don't touch me, don't talk to me. It has nothing to do with camaraderie. It's stone cold killer.
Begin to look in the mirror and begin to make confessions. I am a winner. I am an overcomer. I am somebody that can do anything but fail. But the only thing that can stop you from failing is the belief that you still have time to waste. You must do it now, because now is the time when winners step up. Now the time is when you change your lifestyle. Now is the time when you dedicate yourself. You don't wait on a calendar. You mark the date by today. This day is the day you change.
You need to put yourself on punishment. Well, you didn't do what you were supposed to do, so how am I going to do what I'm supposed to do for you?
Everybody's great when they're not tired. The champions is when they tired, that's when the real champions come out. That's when that real dog come out. Because if you go piss like a puppy, stay on the porch and let the big dogs eat.
You will have a hard life. If you do hard things, you will have an easy life. Let me say it again. If you do easy things, you will have a hard life. If you do hard things, you will have an easy life. As a man, you have to understand that we as men, we do better in environments where we are uncomfortable, okay? You put pressure on a rock, it turns into a diamond.
People, because they're not going to see it. Why you think you keep imagining opening a business? Why you keep imagining graduating, getting a better job? Why do you keep imagining buying a house? Why do you keep imagining getting rich one day? Why do you keep imagining that? Because God is talking to you.
What would you do if you weren't afraid? And I love thinking about that when I'm thinking about big life decisions. Like, what would I do if I weren't afraid? And it's usually like the big one, the bigger thing that I really want to do, but I'm afraid to do it. It's like, that's what I should do. And what would I do if I didn't? If I knew I couldn't fail? I will never wish for fewer epic stories at the end of my life. And I've never regretted failures. I've always regretted things that I didn't try. A lot of times when it's like you have this anxiety around this big decision you have to make, if you actually take the step and realize that it's not death, you're not going to drown immediately. There's plenty of other steps you can take from there, even if you get a little wet.
You're not tired when you're winning. You're tired when you're losing. That once you start to win, you get to find unlimited energy from the universe from somewhere, and you just continue to push forward, no matter how hard it is. Winning is easy. It's trying to turn it around when you're losing that is difficult. You take this lesson from boxing, you apply it to everything else in life. You apply it to money and say, once I start to make money, I know I will have endless motivation to keep making money. It's just hard to make money in the first place. It's hard to get over that hurdle, but once I get going, it's easy. It's a positive reinforcement loop.
If you ain't willing to risk, then you ain't willing to win. Then when you lose, don't blame it on nobody else but your motherfucking self, because you the one that put the risk out there.
It's time to lock in.
Discipline does start with waking up early. It really does. that is just the beginning. And I always say that discipline is the root of all good qualities, but you have to absolutely apply it to things outside of just waking up early. It's everything. It's working out every day, making yourself stronger and faster and more flexible and healthier.
I'm not good enough, smart enough. I'm not talented enough to do that. Some people are. Some people can start at 1. Some people don't have to start at all. If you lack talent, you can't sit back and say, I start in half an hour. I can't do that. I gotta start now. And after I get back from starting, I gotta start again. And when I get done with that run or that study session, if it wasn't good enough, I gotta go back again.
The more weird you are is a reflection of how committed you are to focusing on your molding and shaping and developing your ideas and your craft so that when it's time for you to make your rounds, you gonna fly.
I get up at 3 because it's silent. It's easier to be focused when the environment is focused. So a lot of you don't have, be honest. We're not playing no games here. Talk to Sam, we got a way to help you after this. How many of you, honestly, you are knocking on doors and grinding and making moves, but you don't necessarily have every single step written down for every single day? Just be honest. Some of y'all, you in the dark. That's the problem. So we're gonna help y'all. I got a plan. We're gonna work with y'all. I'm gonna do some video, give it to y'all. I'm gonna show y'all really how to walk through this. Because the day I got up, and every day now I know exactly what I'm supposed to be doing. Here's what's funny. Most of you wake up and you try to make money.
The ultimate lesson here is this. Everybody's on their own path. And I don't want to judge someone for wanting to be free and easy. I just want you to understand that there's a cost to that. And the cost that you're going to have to that isn't going to come until later. Most people need to shut the fuck up and focus on that version of themselves they want to become and actually be willing to become it. And that's what's ultimately going to create the fulfillment that you're looking for. It's not going to be your cold plunge. It's not going to be your morning routine. It's going to be the work that you fucking do to become that version of yourself that is the exact version that you know you're supposed to become, and then being proud of it.
At the end of the day, I ask myself one question: can I take one more step? And usually the answer is yes.
Driven human beings are going to always feel like they're behind. They're going to always feel like they're not doing good enough. They're going to always feel like they're not far enough. They're all going to always feel like you're losing. Look, winning, this is how it feels. 90% of the time, you're going to feel like you're getting your balls kicked in, all right? 8% of the time, you're going to be confused and you're frustrated. 2% of the time, you actually win. And those moments come and go, and then you're back in the 90%. And that's the reality of a winner's life.
Today, I want to give you something special, a key perhaps, that unlocks the door to showing the world your very best side. It's a simple, yet profound idea that has the power to change your life. You see, there was once a person, much like anyone here, who stared into the face of the impossible. Where others saw barriers, they saw a challenge. When told it can't be done, they simply replied, "Watch me." This wasn't a person of extraordinary means or abilities. No, their power came from something within, a steadfast belief in their ability to overcome, to achieve, to transcend the ordinary. This belief was the engine of their will, propelling them to achieve what was once thought impossible.
All I represent in my confidence. I am the greatest. I cannot lose. I'm pretty. And every man believes he's the greatest. Every man would like to be the greatest. Many want to say this, but they fear it. And they see this in themselves, and some hate me for it, and some love me for it.
I don't care how good you are. I don't care how talented you are. I don't care how much you work on yourself. There are some times when things aren't going to go right. They just are not going to go right. There are times when anything that can happen will happen. Murphy's Law will be knocking at your door. Why? I don't know why. That's called life. You have to deal with it. Sometimes your life will be in a slump, just like sports. Some of the best shooters can't hit baskets different times in games. They get in a slump. Do they sit on the sideline and say, I just didn't hit a basket today? No, they continue to execute. I suggest to you that if you are facing a challenge, don't stop. Stay busy. Work your plan. Continue to do those things that you know that work for you after you have evaluated yourself in the situation. Continue to move. Stay busy, stay busy, stay busy. Repeat out to me. Help somebody.
But once you figure out your brain, you become unstoppable to almost anything. Your brain's amazing. Once you feed it the right conversation, the right mental nutrients, the right mental supplements, the right internal dialogue at the right time, with the right hit, with the right proof of what you've done in the past, and you send that right to the right circuit, dude, you're a fucking beast. A beast.
Anything is possible. Don't think limits, and I feel that I've proven that throughout the years. I never thought I would be this great at what I've done. But I want to say to the young kids growing up, just live your dream, work hard, stay focused, and just be strong, and just keep on pushing, and it will come true.
Nobody cares. Reality check. Nobody cares about your problems. Nobody cares about what you wear. Nobody cares about what you think. I'm trying to appeal to the people that actually understand that human values, integrity, character, desire for freedom, and the pursuit of happiness is the key to a successful life.
I don't know who said it, but it was a great quote. This guy said, going into combat, going into war, out of the 100 men that go into war, 10 shouldn't even fucking there. 80 of them are just targets. 9 do most of the fighting. 1 is a warrior. And it's a true quote to life. I saw it going through training. I saw it everywhere I went. There's so many people who just show up to life that shouldn't even fucking be around. And there's few people who do all the work. I wanted to be part of that 9, and I'm working towards being that 1. And that's just how I live my life.
We all have days where we don't feel like doing what we need to do. We all have days we struggle. We all have days that we dread getting out of bed. And when you feel yourself feeling this way, I want you to think about what the monster is. We are not doing something that needs to be done. That's the monster. The longer we allow that monster to live in our brains, in our minds, the bigger and stronger it gets. If you don't slay the monster will eat you the fuck alive. You will live a life of anxiety, of fear, of confusion, of frustration if you don't make a habit of slaying the monster.
In my life, anytime I make a good decision, most people disagree with me. I have to listen to my inner voice, and I'm usually doing something against the grain. Now that's my pattern, but everyone has to find their own.
Couldn't get out. He just kept kicking. He just kept kicking. He refused to give up. He refused to drown. Eventually, he turned that milk pail into butter, climbed on top of the butter and jumped out. You just keep churning, man, and you'll get out. Be a warrior.
You've never looked at yourself in the mirror and said, you let you down. Until you get to that point, you let you down. Tell me what you complaining about. Winners complain. Winners want to hear themselves talk. Champions do not complain. Why? Because they're focusing on what they said they wanted to do as a goal.
And you can forget all this money and stuff you got all around you, man, because it don't change a thing. You and me, we don't even have a choice. See, we're born with a killer instinct that you can't just turn off and on like some radio. We have to be right in the middle of the action because we're the warriors. And without some challenge, without some damn war to fight, then the warrior may as well be dead, Stallion.
So discovering your limit on the one side is the first thing. Discovering it is the first step. Because discovering your limits means you have a vision about what you can do, and at the same time the limit is showing you what you cannot do at the moment.
I'm not suggesting that you don't work hard in terms of an idea, but I'm trying to tell you, if you grind, you will be broke the rest of your life or you will barely make it. This society did not become rich by workers.
Do you understand? Negativity, let me just give you this and I'm gonna walk away. Negativity, you can protect yourself from negativity. And that's what stops most people, negative thoughts. You can coat your mind from negativity. It's a real simple exercise to do. I do it every morning before I walk out the door. So I walk out as a positive person. You know, I get tired sometimes because I get mentally drained from my job at times. That's different from being negative. But to coat your mind from negativity, the way you can put a coating around your mind is with one simple thing.
What you most need is to know Father, Son, Holy Spirit is present in your life. Watch this, because if you have Emmanuel in your life, you are with God. God is with you, and with you, when you are with God, guess what? You can be confident of victory in your life. When you have victory in your life, you have strength. When you have victory in your life, you have optimism and hope, because you know you are on the side of God. And anyone who is on the side of God, how many of you know they're on the side of victory?
Personal winters, when your heart is smashed in 1,000 pieces and the nights are unusually long. It is simply called winter time. But here's what you've got to do in your own personal development, your own personal growth, and that is just get better at handling the winters. You can't change the winter. You can't change the seasons, but you can change yourself. You say, well, what can I do about the upcoming winters of my life, the challenges that I know I'm going to face? Here's what you can do. You can get wiser and stronger and better. You can develop the muscle. You can develop the courage muscle. You can develop the inspiration muscle. You can develop the dedication muscle. You can get stronger. There isn't anybody here that can't get stronger. Next time we see you, may not even recognize you. How strong you're going to be able to become in language, in style, and personality, the ability to cope, the ability to handle with anything that happens, no matter what happens.
Everything really does begin with you. If you are irreplaceable in the job you have, you're unpromotable where you are. You can have everything in life you want if you'll just help enough other people get what they want. That's true in your personal life. It's true in your family life. It's true in your corporate life.
Being tired is part of the fucking game, okay? So it's not a valid excuse. It's normal. It's a constant. It's part of being human. And if you want to be a high achiever, guess what? You're going to have to acclimate yourself to being fucking tired way more than you're not tired.
Anytime you feel angry, good. Anger gets a bad reputation, but getting really angry at yourself, it can be really important if you know what to do with it. Because your anger is trying to tell you something. When someone irritating is triggering you because they have something that you want, and you know what you're angry about? You're angry at yourself because you didn't start doing it 10 years ago.
The reason why I speak with so much passion, E.T., why do you speak with so much authority? Because I'm talking about my life, not something that I read. I ate out of trash cans. I had no business eating out of trash cans. I lived in abandoned buildings. I had no business living in abandoned buildings. But E.T., your daddy wasn't in your life. Your mom was a teenage mother. You grew up, come on, E, look at your story. That's not an excuse. There is no excuse for not living up to your fullest potential. No excuse.
Everything you're going through is preparing you for what you ask God for. You just got to quit tripping while you're in the process. Because the process is necessary. You may not see it now, but when he gets you on the other side of it, you're going to see exactly why it went that way. And you're going to be okay with it. But quit tripping during the process. Oh, Lord, why me? You ain't the only one. Oh, Lord, why me? You ain't the only one. Oh, Lord, why I lose my job? You ain't the only one unemployed. Oh, Lord, why he leave me? You ain't the first chick got left. This might not even be your last time getting left. Pull yourself together and quit tripping because you in the process. God is processing you. He ain't through with you. If he was through with you, you would not wake up in the morning.
It's not a bad thing to be unique. It's not a bad thing to be different. It's not a bad thing to be comfortable with yourself, regardless of what everybody else around you is doing.
If you're lucky enough to be different, don't let go. I spend a lot of my time and energy exploring the power of perspective. How our reality is determined by how we interpret what's in front of us. How one person can look at one thing and see pain or a problem or a barrier, and another person can look at that exact same thing and see opportunity or a future win or a bridge to something better.
It doesn't matter to me any longer how long I live. What matters to me most is how I live. Every day ask yourself that question, how you living? That you would not judge, that you would show up early, that you'd be kind, that if you're going to do something, you do it the right way, that it's never wrong to do the right thing, that how you do anything is how you do everything. And in that way, you will grow your influence to make an impact. In that way, you will honor all those who have gone before you, who have invested in you. Look in those unlikeliest places for wisdom. Enhance your life every day by seeking that wisdom and asking yourself every night, how am I living?
If you want to be great, you want to be the baddest motherfucker ever at what you do, you're going to be misunderstood by everybody because you're going to be so fucking obsessed and so driven to get there. That's what it takes.
You will never win in life by being someone you are not. You cannot ever live the life of your dreams by settling for someone else's idea of what you should be doing with your life. You will never, ever be happy if you change who you are to fit in with others. Until you accept and embrace who you are destined to live a life at only a mere fraction of your potential. It is simply impossible to be genuinely happy when you are not genuinely yourself.
There's a certain delusional quality that all successful people have to have. You have to believe that something different can happen.
If you want to be exceptional, you're going to be different from everyone else. That's what makes you exceptional. You can't fit in and also be exceptional. Both have discomfort. When you fit in, you have internal conflict because you're not being 100% you. When you're exceptional, you have external conflict because everyone sees you as different. Pick one. When your friends start to say, you've changed, remember it's because they don't know how to say, you've grown.
You only have 24 hours in a day. Your success is dependent upon how you use the 24. You gotta hear me. People talk about Oprah Winfrey, Ted Turner, Warren Buffett. Listen to me. I don't care how much money you make. You only get 24 hours in a day. And the difference between Oprah and the person that's broke is Oprah uses her 24 hours wisely. That's it. Listen to me. That's it. You get 24. I don't care if you broke, you grew up broke. I don't care if you grew up rich. I don't care if you're in college, you're not in college. You only get 24 hours. And I blew up literally.
You're crazy until you're successful. Then you're a genius. For a lot of people, when you're grinding as a small channel, people think you're too obsessed. You're a weirdo. Stop only making videos. Like, get a life. Be realistic. People will convince you you're out of your mind for wanting to do this. But then once you're successful, they're like, yo, your drive, your tenacity was great. But it's like, yeah, well, where was that back then? You know what I mean? I didn't get that when I was a small channel.
To be successful at anything, the truth is you don't have to be special. You just have to be what most people aren't. Consistent, determined, and willing to work for it. No shortcuts.
Repeat to yourself every day, I am different. That is why I win. I am unique. And that is why I am great. I'm not like anyone else on this planet. I am grateful for who I am becoming. I am grateful for who I am.
And that's one of the things that really trips people up. The way of getting there with the destination itself. And I think that people a lot of times throw hate on having a destination, on building towards some big goal, of having some grand thing they're chasing. But as Einstein said, if you want to live a happy life, tie it to a goal, not to people, not to things.
I wanted to throw in the towel as I would start to bash myself, as I would start to feel sorry for myself and be like, nope, there's just no way I'm going to believe that something amazing isn't going to happen. I've worked too hard. Something amazing that hasn't happened is coming.
Your success is deeply intertwined with your belief in your capabilities. Our beliefs dictate our actions, and our actions dictate our results. If you believe you can improve, succeed, or make a difference, then you are more likely to take the necessary steps to make that happen.
Take it personal. And my personal question to you is, why not you? You've got the brains, you can make decisions, you can study the plan, you can change your life, you can grow immensely in the next few years, you can make your dreams come true, you can build a financial wall around your family nothing can get through, you can become healthy, you can become powerful. Why not you?
If you're going to be successful in creating the life of your dreams, you have to believe that you are capable of making it happen. You have to believe that you have the right stuff and that you're able to pull it off. Now, whether you call it self-esteem, self-confidence, or self-assurance, it's a deep-seated belief that you have what it takes, the abilities, the inner resources, the talents, and the skills to create your desired results. Now, believing in yourself is simply an attitude. Believing in yourself is a choice. You have to choose to believe that you can do anything you set your mind to, anything at all, because in fact you can.
The world really is a mirror, and it reflects not what we want, it reflects who you are. When you continue this inner work, install better beliefs, clean out emotional baggage and trauma, and practice more of the higher emotions of gratitude and enthusiasm, and love and awe and wonder.
You see, your future determines your thinking today. Your thinking today determines your performance today. Your performance today has a strong bearing on what that future is going to be. The way you see the future is more important than what has happened in the past. Today is a brand new day. This is the day that you can make the decisions that will make such an incredible difference in your life. The way that you look at that future is so important, but you got to plan for it. You were born to win, that's true. But in order to be the winner you were born to be, you got to plan to win, you got to prepare to win. And then and only then can you legitimately expect to win.
As soon as you plant the garden, the busy bugs and the noxious weeds are out to take it. And you've got to learn not only to nourish your values, you've got to learn to do battle with your enemies. Whatever threatens you, I'm asking you to threaten it back. Take care of your responsibility, but don't take anything off of anybody. Somebody wants to destroy your chances for a good future by their negative talk, negative thinking. Walk away if you have to. Walk away. Now, some of our enemies are on the outside, but here's the most important thing to understand. Some of our enemies are on the inside. Let me give you a quick list. Indifference. You got to do battle with your own indifference. Indecision. You got to make those decisions. The ones that don't turn out to be good gives you experience to make better decisions. The next one is doubt. Sure, there's doubts on the outside. People doubt that America's going to make it. I'm asking you to have some faith, have some courage, believe. And here's the most important one of all. Don't doubt yourself.